Hi, so I think this is my best preset. This is my Eric Johnson kind of inspired preset. It began trying to build something from Eric Johnson's kind of rig before I knew as much as I know about his rig as I do now, which is not loads, but I know considerably more, so it's like not really even based on totally the things that he uses, but I was just trying to get in that ballpark of tone. So I'm just going to go through it, and then I'm also going to try and rebuild this preset in a slightly more sensible way based on what I know now, sort of like a looking back at what I did with the Helix and sort of trying to improve this preset a little bit based on the knowledge I have now. Hopefully that's interesting. Feel free to like and subscribe, and this new preset is the same as the old one, just tidied up slightly, and there'll be another option. I'll drop these into the folder if you want. Leave a comment, let me know. I'll probably do it anyway, but it probably help. Cheers.
Right. Okay, so here's the preset. So this top line is the drive line, and so the idea was that this top line could be run as a preset on an HX Stomp, and so could this bottom line. So you've effectively got, you know, two presets combined into one, which is why it was called Eric Combined. And so the top line, we're using a litigator amp. For the drive settings, the lead settings, I guess is what you're most interested in. We've got the drive at 9.1, the bass at 5.6, the mids at 10, treble and presence are set to off. It's a dumb bomb with this amount of gain going into it. You don't really need to go overboard with the treble or presence. And the channel volume up to 9.5, master is at 5. So that's those settings. Then I've got the free IR from Ownhammer that I use for a lot of stuff. They used to give this away in a pack. And the high cut all the way down at 3.9, that's really important for this particular tone. And then top secret overdrive, which is the Dodd OD250, with the gain at 8.8 and the level at 8.3. Now this is like a non kind of mid-pushed distortion drive pedal type thing. Not what Eric actually uses. And then we've got a red squeeze, which he sometimes uses, and this is doing a lot of boosting. Sensitivity set to 3.8, mix set to 83%, and plus 12 dB. And for that reason, this preset can be kind of noisy if you're sat near your monitor. In the future, I might experiment with just using the master on the amp to get that kind of compression type stuff. Other things, I've added in an arbitrator fuzz here just as an option, and then dual delay, quarter on the left, 8th dotted on the right, feedback 71 on the left, 62 on the right. The mix I've brought down to 25, that was a bit higher in the past, and the modulation stuff is off. And then a glitz reverb at the end because it's not too nasty on the old DSP with those settings, 19% mix. Anyway, so that's the drive portion, and then you'll see a lot of these settings are the same in the clean. So we've got a compressor with exactly the same settings as there, and we've got an amp, the mail order twin, because it said twin in the name, this seemed like a good idea to use instead of the Fender twin. Drive at 1.8, bass at 2.9, mids at 2.8, treble quite high at 8.6, presence very high at 10. Channel volume on this particular, because we're bringing this channel volume down to do the drive, so that comes back up to 7.9, master all the way at 10. Then that same IR, but we open up the high cut to 15, and then delay settings, those look to be the same as well. And then we got a chorus pedal after the delay, before the reverb. So we got chorus here, speed at 1, depth at 7.4, pre-delay at 0.8, wave shape triangle, tone 5, spread 10, mix 50%. And then we got another glitz reverb. So if you notice, we've got the same compressor, we've got the same IR, same delay, same reverb. So in the Helix, I could make this preset considerably more streamlined if I set these things up in a different way. So what I'm going to try doing is this one I need to run into here. So that's going to go to path 2A. I'm just going to remove this one altogether and remove this IR, I think, clear block, and remove this delay, remove this verb, and so delay here, mod, and okay, so then that's all the elements we need, right? I think so. So now we've got way more DSP left on both. So let me just sort this out now then. So for the clean, we obviously don't want the litigator on. We do want the mail order twin on. And we do want the IR. We do want all of that. So Eric tidied, we'll call this. What else could we do? So now also for the lead, I'm going to take that off. And the IR bring down to 3.9 kilohertz. Delay stays where it is, and we want to bypass that and save that. The only downside of this particular setup is that for my rhythm tone, I sort of had a combination of both of these paths on at the same time. So it was kind of like a dual amp thing where I had a bit of the clean and a bit of the drive. We obviously can't do that anymore in this way, although we could if we put 2 amps on the same path, but I don't really want to do that. So the rhythm tone, I'm just going to turn off twin. That high cut comes up to 5.9, and what I'm going to do, I think, is bring the drive down lots more and turn off that. But you see, basically we've just got rid of a load of redundancy by copying the blocks that are the same just onto different paths and then bypassing different bits when we don't need them. This is kind of a different way to run presets than I used to do. Benefit, however, is that presumably now I could run, for instance, on this preset I could run a polycapo even if I wanted to, whereas before I definitely wouldn't have been able to up on this path here, or I guess a polysustain maybe. No, not a polysustain, but we've still got quite a lot of options available here. Maybe less if we go to stereo, but still quite a lot. And then even on this path here as well, we've still got some stuff where we could put in, you know, additional bits and pieces, more modulation if we needed, more delay. You know, we could have a dual cab setup if we wanted to, and we can also split off here, off of this path if we wanted to go down and out to the PA or whatever, or to a cab. So I think this routing is a little bit more sensible if you want to add some different bits and pieces to this preset. So I might experiment with this in the future. So that's Eric Tided JC. Should hopefully sound roughly the same. I need to check that, but way more opportunity to add more stuff to that preset than the Eric combined one. I'll catch you in another video soon. Hopefully that was vaguely useful or interesting or something. To check everything's kosher. Amp model. I think we're good. Right, cheers. I'll drop this into the folder if you ask.